up, Vigilantes? Today I want to talk to you guys about something that is inevitable, it's sad, but it's real. And it happens in crypto just as it happens anywhere else in the world. And it's the fact that there's people out there that see cryptocurrencies as this great innovation and they just want to capitalize, but they're not smart enough to realize that they can do so in a way that is beneficial for everyone. And so these people develop scams. I've been in conferences where I've heard people, and they've told me in my face that they boasting about how they took X amount of millions of dollars from people in the ICO craze and never delivered anything. There are scammers out there, guys, and real shitty people. And it's upsetting to see that. And that's actually one of the reasons why we created the Crypto Vigilante, is for people to have a place to come and actually, have a good map of what the crypto space is, and to actually not fall for these scams. It's sad, guys, but it happens, and we're expecting this to happen even more nowadays because crypto's again getting popular. People in Hollywood are talking about it now. Some of the cast members of Game of Thrones are talking about buying Bitcoin. Rob Schneider is now talking about Mises. So it's like you have all these people that are famous talking about crypto, and along with all of this attention that cryptocurrencies will be getting in the near future and for the rest of time, in my opinion, there will be scams, guys. So today I want to go over the type of scams that have existed in the past within cryptocurrencies so that you can be aware of them, and if you see them, you can see the red flags and run. So the first one is any scam based on promises, right? Like I mentioned, the ICO craze opened up the opportunity for scammers to come into crypto, and what they did was that they would promise people, hey, if you buy my token, you'll be part of this amazing technology, blah, blah, blah. And like the scammer that was boasting at this conference, they never deliver. So yeah, it's pretty upsetting, but that's just, you have to be careful, guys. There definitely people out there that don't have a moral compass, and they will scam you if they have a chance. So anyone that makes a promise to deliver a cryptocurrency or to deliver a project, a promise where the core functionality of that product, of that network, of whatever they're offering, if the core functionality does not work, run. If there's not even a beta, run. Don't invest in anything that is only based on promises. Yes, guys, promises. Be very, very careful with promises. Just as I was talking about scammers, one of my dogs had a fight with a coyote, so everything's good. We're fine. We're back. So yeah, just like there's coyotes in the forest and bears and stuff like that, there's scammers in the real world. So be careful, guys. Be very, very careful. So yeah, my dogs are good. They're fine. It's just there's coyotes, whatever. But yeah. So be careful of scammers, guys. And anyone that gives you promises in crypto, stay away from them. Stay away from them. Again, focus on ask yourself, is the core functionality of this project working? If the core functionality is working, then by all means, yeah, look into it some more. But if they don't even have a beta, run for the hills. The next type of scam that we've seen is anything having to do with multi-level marketing. If anyone says, hey, invest in this one thing, we have this if anyone offers you a pyramid scheme type of investment, it's a trap. Run. Any multi-level marketing has no place in cryptocurrency. And maybe in the 0.01, there's probably the 0.01% chance that there may be an offering in the market of that includes some sort of multi-level marketing scheme that is actually not a scam, but most of them are. And we have plenty of examples of that, guys. We have the OneCoin, UZI tech was an old one back in the day. Run if you ever see anything like that again. You have BitConnect. Gosh, there's just so many. But yeah, 99% of them are scams, guys. Run. When you look into a cryptocurrency project or anything or any new digital asset, another thing to look into is ask yourself, was there a pre-mine or an insta-mine? If there was a pre-mine, if there was an insta-mine, know that more than likely you're dealing with people that are not the most honest. And we've seen this plenty in the past. So, a great example of this would be Ripple, right? Ripple just created a bunch of coins without any proof of work, and they, as a company, own all these billions of coins, of tokens, and then they sell them. And then now recently they were buying those coins back from the market. They're really weird. Stay away from anything like that, guys. That is very scamish. Coin emission is something you really have to pay attention to. So if you see a company owning coins, run. I think Ripple's a good example of what not to follow and what to stay away from. There shouldn't be any centralized entity holding the crypto. So look into that. Keep in mind that if you see any centralized entity holding the cryptocurrency, it more than likely is a scam as well, guys. So be very wary of that. Again, it's important to look at the insta-mines or pre-mines of cryptocurrencies as well, right? One of our competitors within the newsletter space is talking about, they're promoting Dash. If you're a subscriber, you know how we feel about Dash. We wrote 2 reports where we say Dash is trash. Their Instamine was something that caused much trouble within crypto, and to this day, it still causes a lot of trouble. Our job is to be as cautious as possible and to inform people as best as possible about what we see. So be careful, guys. This is all educational. Everything that we say, everything that we write is educational based on our research. Everyone can come to their own conclusions, but we find that a group that was involved in an Instamine and of a deliberate, ugly Instamine, amongst other things, is a group that shouldn't be trusted. Now, I've had people come up to me saying, "Hey, what about forgiveness? Would you be able to forgive someone for making a mistake in the past?" And my answer to that is, people don't change; they just wait. I'm very cautious, and that's just my prerogative. But if you're not as cautious, that's your prerogative too. All we can do is educate and analyze, and that's what we do, right? So another thing to be weary of are uncapped supplies. Now, that does not mean that all uncapped supplies are bad, and I'll give you the perfect example of one that is not a scam. What we're referring to uncapped supplies is anytime you see a market cap of billions, that's a huge red flag. Be careful. So like Ripple, right? Billions of tokens is bad news, guys. Billions of tokens is bad news. So if you see like Ripple and they have billions of tokens, be very cautious. Be very cautious, because what you're opening yourself up to is an unfettered amount of inflation. For example, look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is fun. It's a fun coin. That's all Dogecoin was for. It was just a fun coin, a fun project. But monetarily speaking, their inflation rate is crazy. I mean, it's like 10,000 coins per minute. So be weary of coins that have crazy rates of inflation. Now, there are coins that have inflation in a very minimal way that are actually good for the cryptocurrency. And the best example of this would be Monero, right? Monero has a very low inflation rate of 0.03 XMR. The inflation rate itself of Monero is almost zero. It's almost zero over time. We will only have more Monero than BTC out in the market in the year 2040. But keep in mind, so in order to understand this better, here, let me break this down a little bit for you guys. The fixed small amount of 0.03 XMR is in itself what is referred to as a small linear inflation. That inflation rate of the XMR actually decreases. It is what they call a asymptomatically zero in its annualized inflation. So it is not, Monero is not an identical zero in its inflation rate the way that Bitcoin is, but it is asymptomatically zero when you look at Monero's inflation from a macroeconomic perspective. So I'm going to put a chart up here to show you guys how Monero's inflation rate, that tail-end emission, that very small tail-end emission, will, yes, inflate to infinity, 0.03 XMR, but it's so small that it will be asymptomatic on a macro scale to the economy. Why is that? Why is this happening within Monero? It's because Monero got to see the problems that were occurring within BTC, within Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. The reason why those three coins split up into three coins now is because of there being a lot of debate regarding scaling for Bitcoin. And one of the most important aspects of this whole scaling debate has to do with the economic incentives of miners. So BTC, Bitcoin Cash, and BSV have different ways of monetizing and incentivizing miners to secure the network. When all those coins were united in one Bitcoin coin, there was a huge civil war amongst ourselves where we all had different opinions as to what would be best for Bitcoin in order for it to incentivize miners in perpetuity. Some people said, we will have a fee structure that grows along with scaling on chain, and others were like, well, we can have a fee structure for miners that is not dependent on chain scaling. And that's kind of like one of the main reasons why we had the civil war that we did. Monero saw that issue and they guard against that by having a linear tail emission of the block reward so that there is an assurance that Monero will forever have their miners compensated in perpetuity, forever. So, that's why we created the Crypto Vigilante. We want people to not only have a place of getting the best information, but there's so much confusion out there. You are going to encounter many different ideas and opposing ideas, and it's important to have an environment where you can put those ideas out there and have them challenge with other people. So, for example, at the Crypto Vigilante, us analysts, we don't all agree with one another. We argue all the time, and it's a good thing. There's a huge problem that opens crypto up to a lot of scammers coming in. And that problem is that in crypto, you have a lot of silos. You have a lot of people, this is becoming a term now that's popular, right? Having tribalism within crypto. And then people justify it as, that's just a normal thing. These people think in terms of political terms. They don't think as investors. They don't think as capitalists. They don't think as people that want to profit, people that want to create products for the world, right? They think that buying a cryptocurrency is similar to that of voting for a political party. That's no. Tribalism is a sign of economic illiteracy. If you're a capitalist, what you want is to make as much money as possible. That's the bottom line. Your goal is, as a capitalist, is to create capital goods and make good investments that open yourself up to the world. The best of money is that which allows you to connect better to other people. That's what money is. Money allows you to connect to other people. That's all that money really does. So the best of money is the money that allows you to cooperate best with other people. So if you understand that, you wouldn't be driven to any tribalism. You would realize quickly that tribalism is a really dumb idea. It's really stupid. So I'm not a maximalist, but I love maximalists. I'm not, this is the thing. It's kind of ironic that I'm saying this because maximalists and people that are all tribal about their coin actually make people like me a lot of money. Why is that? Because maximalists are like little armies, right? That are very like gun-ho for their own crypto project. Okay, great. Be gun-ho for your own crypto project, because I don't want someone that's half-assed about their crypto project. I want someone that is gun-ho for their own crypto project. And as an investor, you just come in and let them fight for you. Let them fight for your money, for your investment. And you just sit back and allow them to do all the fighting for you. Allow them to fight for you, for your money, for your capital. And that's I think, the proper perspective of dealing with all this tribalism. But don't get sucked into it, because if you get sucked into it, into these echo chambers, what ends up happening is that's where scammers come in, right? They feed off that culture of tribalism, and they impose themselves as being outside of every given cult, right? And what you end up having is a scammer promising you or giving you a different perspective from that of what a maximalist would give you, but in reality, they're just scamming you. The solution to that is to acknowledge that there is maximalism, that there is tribalism, and to nourish yourself from it, but don't put yourself into one of those silos yourself. Like when we started the Crypto Vigilante, we had Berwick and I were more on the big blocker side of the argument, and I was like, Jeff, we need to, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right, and we're gonna bring in guys that are more on the small blocker side, and we did. And yeah, we grow, we challenge each other constantly, and by doing that, by constantly challenging one another, what we're doing is that we're watching each other's back, because a small blocker perspective has kept me from making mistakes that a big blocker mindset would not see, and vice versa. The same thing has happened the other way. Like I've shown Mr. X things that I know for a fact that if he would have stayed within that silo of just small blockers, he wouldn't see them. That doesn't mean that he is less of a small blocker, or I'm less of a big blocker. It just means that we're more well-rounded, because we're constantly opening ourselves up to debate, to critical thinking, and to actually coming to a better understanding of the states of affairs within cryptocurrency. It's not about, winning an argument is not about, I have a zinger, or I said something clever, or I came up with a meme. That's not winning an argument. Winning an argument is really coming to a better understanding of the states of affairs, of the truth of events, better understanding of what is actually happening in the market, and what's actually, and how the constitutive makeup of these cryptocurrencies, which is interdisciplinary, how these things actually are. And so if you come to a better understanding, then that's how you win an argument, not by saying, I said something clever, or no, that's not how that's not an argument. That's just sophistry. So it's a lot of the crypto space has resorted to this sort of sophistry, and the sophistry opens itself up to not having a genuine dialogue. And so at the Crypto Vigilante, yes, we do have, everyone has their biases, and everyone has, comes at everything from their own subjective perspective. And our perspective that we hold to is the Austrian School of Economics. But that doesn't mean that we doesn't mean that we don't look at other perspectives. We're constantly examining other perspectives, other ideas. Even on the notion of there being an insta-mine or pre-mine, we've had conversations amongst ourselves as to, like, there could be the case that there is an honest pre-mine. There could be the case. Have we actually seen an ominous pre-mine? arguably, maybe when Satoshi first launched Bitcoin, maybe then, because he was the only one that knew about the technology, him and the people that are very close to him, and they just had to kind of launch it. But even that was fair. So, it was fairly announced. So, as Bitcoin and crypto become bigger, and as the price rallies, and honestly, guys, the value of these technologies is so immense that I honestly, guys, barely look at the price. And the reason why is because I know that what we do at the Crypto Vigilante is so like fundamentally sound that it's almost like, to me, it's just like, okay, yeah, obviously, like, duh, like, yeah. So it's almost like we're gonna see a lot of people be dazzled by the price, and if shots are being fired, hunting season around here, so I love it, and we're gonna have a lot of people coming into this space that will find themselves confused and scammed, unfortunately, guys. So if you know anyone that is new to crypto and needs kind of like better guidance so they don't fall for these traps, tell them about the Crypto Vigilante. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. We really appreciate it because we love cryptocurrency. We love Bitcoin. Peace, love, anarchy.
Every day, you are bombarded by messages telling you how to act, what to wear, and who won the latest election. Meanwhile, you see your freedoms collapsing, and worry that your investments and savings will be destroyed by a collapsing economy caused by lockdowns, money printing, riots, violence, and more. That's why we've created the 2020 TDD Virtual Summit. In it, you'll learn how to find more freedom and wealth from experts who are actually doing it. Click the link below for more information on the 2020 TDD Virtual Summit to learn the exact strategies you need to build more wealth, freedom, and liberty into your own life.